The great hall of the Calric station sparkled with lights from 1,000 worlds. Ambassador Thelxara stood at the center of it all, her forearms raised in triumph. Around her, representatives from dozens of alien species celebrated. The war was over. Humanity had fallen. The galaxy was finally at peace. 3 months had passed since the battle at Terminus Gate. Thelxara remembered watching the reports with her own compound eyes. The human fleet had gathered there for their last stand. Hundreds of ships, all that remained of Earth's once mighty armada. The coalition forces had surrounded them completely. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, the void was filled with debris and bodies. "We have divided the human territories fairly," Thelxara announced to the gathered crowd. Her translator device turned her clicking mandibles into words everyone could understand. "The outer colonies will be redistributed among our member species. Earth itself remains quarantined. They have not responded to any of our messages. We believe they have accepted their defeat." The crowd cheered. Drinks were poured. Music played. War Master Vorn of the Krethic Empire stood in the corner, his scaled face unreadable. He did not celebrate like the others. Something troubled him, but he kept his thoughts to himself. In the occupied colony of New Prosperity, coalition soldiers walked through empty streets. The humans who lived there had vanished before the occupation forces arrived. Buildings stood intact. Lights still worked. Food remained in storage, but not a single human could be found. It was the same story in every colony the coalition had taken. The people were just gone. "They ran back to Earth," suggested Commander Palvik, a mantis-like Calric's officer. "Cowards, all of them." But Krelnon, the intelligence officer assigned to the occupation, was not so sure. He was a Silanthi, a species known for their analytical minds. His gray skin rippled with concern as he studied the reports. "Something is wrong," he said quietly. "Humans do not abandon their homes easily. Their history shows they fight for every meter of ground." "Their history is over," Palvik laughed. "We ended it at Terminus Gate." Krelnon said nothing more. But he kept reading the reports, kept analyzing the data. The humans had left their colonies too quickly, too organized. It was not panic. It was planning. Far from the celebrations and the occupied worlds, in a region of space no charts named, something massive drifted in the darkness. The ship was enormous, longer than most space stations. Its hull was scorched and torn. Entire sections had been ripped open by weapons fire. It tumbled slowly through the void, looking dead. But deep inside, in the protected core of the vessel, lights flickered on. Computer systems hummed to life. In the command center, a woman with short gray hair and tired eyes studied the displays. Captain Elena Vasquez had not slept well in 3 months. None of her crew had. "All sections report ready, Captain," said Commander Hayes, her second officer. He was young, too young, promoted because so many senior officers had died at Terminus Gate. "We have power. Weapons are at 30% capacity. Engines are functional. Life support is stable." Vasquez nodded slowly. Around her, the bridge crew worked at their stations. 3,000 souls remained aboard the Indomitable Will. 3,000 survivors from a crew that once numbered 8,000. They had played dead for 3 months, drifting in the dark, making repairs in silence while the galaxy celebrated humanity's defeat. "Communications," Vasquez said, her voice rough from exhaustion. "Any word from Earth?" "No, Captain. Still maintaining radio silence as ordered." The communications officer, Lieutenant Chen, looked worried. "We don't even know if Earth survived." "Earth survived," Vasquez said with certainty she did not entirely feel. The coalition would be broadcasting their victory over the homeworld if they had taken it. "The silence means Earth is hiding, rebuilding, waiting." "Waiting for what?" asked Hayes. Vasquez stood up from her command chair. She walked to the main view screen, staring out at the empty space around them. "Waiting for proof that humanity is not defeated. Waiting for a sign that the war is not over. Waiting for us." She turned to face her crew. They looked back at her with hollow eyes, eyes that had seen too much death, too much loss. But there was something else there too, something that had not died at Terminus Gate. "The coalition thinks we are broken," Vasquez continued. "They think we have surrendered. They are wrong. We did not come this far, lose this much, just to quit now." "Captain," Hayes said carefully, "we are one ship. They have thousands. Our orders were to regroup at Terminus Gate. The battle is lost. The fleet is destroyed. What can one ship do? Vasquez smiled, and it was not a kind smile. One ship can do a great deal, Commander. Especially one ship they think is destroyed. Especially one ship they are not looking for. We are going to make them regret thinking this war is over. She activated the ship-wide intercom. 3,000 people heard her voice echo through the damaged corridors. Crew of the Indomitable Will, this is your captain. I know you are tired. I know you want to go home. I know you have lost friends and family. But I am asking you to fight one more time. Not in a big battle. Not in a grand last stand. I'm asking you to make the enemy bleed. To make them afraid. To show the galaxy that humans do not quit. There was silence for a moment. Then from somewhere deep in the ship, someone started banging on a bulkhead. A steady rhythm. Others joined in. Soon the entire ship rang with the sound of 3,000 people hammering on metal. The war cry of a ship that refused to die. Vasquez looked at Hayes. Set course for the nearest coalition supply depot. It is time to remind them what humanity means. The Indomitable Will turned in the darkness. Its engines flared to life. A ghost ship was hunting again. The supply convoy never reached its destination. 17 cargo ships carrying food, ammunition, and medical supplies simply disappeared between the colony of New Prosperity and the Calrix forward base. No distress calls, no debris. They were just gone. Commander Pavlovich stood in the command center of the occupied colony, staring at the empty star map. Equipment malfunction, he insisted. Their navigation systems failed. We will find them drifting somewhere. Krelnon did not look up from his datapad. All 17 ships had navigation failures at the same time. In the same sector? His gray skin had turned darker, a sign of stress among the Salanthi. This is the 4th convoy we have lost this month. Space is dangerous, Pavlovich said dismissively. Perhaps they hit an asteroid field. There are no asteroid fields on that route. I checked. Krelnon finally looked at his superior officer. Something is taking our ships. What? Ghosts? Pavlovich's mandibles clicked with laughter. The humans are defeated. Their fleet is destroyed. What could possibly be taking our ships? Krelnon had no answer, but he knew something was wrong. He could feel it. Aboard the Indomitable Will, Captain Vasquez watched as her crew unloaded supplies from the captured cargo ships. They worked quickly, efficiently. They had done this before. This was their 5th raid in 6 weeks. Supplies are loaded, Captain, reported Lieutenant Torres, the cargo officer. Food for 3 months. Ammunition for the rail guns. Spare parts for the engines. And medical supplies we desperately needed. Good. Scuttle the cargo ships. Make it look like a reactor failure. I want them confused. Vasquez turned to her tactical officer. Lieutenant Ramirez, where is the nearest coalition patrol? 2 light years away, Captain. They are investigating our last attack site. They will not find anything useful there. Vasquez allowed herself a small smile. The Indomitable Will had a significant advantage. It was designed to be a stealth dreadnought, capable of hiding from sensors when running silent. The coalition knew this design existed, but thought all such ships had been destroyed. They were not looking for a ghost. Captain, Hayes approached her with a concerned expression. The crew is requesting permission to speak with you. They have questions about our mission. Bring them to the briefing room. All senior officers. 20 minutes later, Vasquez faced her senior staff. They looked exhausted, worn down, but still standing, still fighting. She respected them for that. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Park spoke first. She was the chief engineer, responsible for keeping the damaged ship functional. Captain, with respect, what is our endgame here? We have been raiding convoys for 6 weeks. We have been hiding and running. When do we go home? Home to what? Vasquez asked quietly. Earth has not answered our calls. We do not know what is happening there. All we know is that the coalition thinks the war is over. They think they won. They are occupying human colonies. They are dividing our territory among themselves like we never existed. We are one ship, said Commander Hayes. We cannot win this war alone. No, Vasquez agreed, but we can make sure they do not win it either. Every convoy we destroy, every base we damage, every patrol we eliminate, costs them resources. Costs them time. Costs them confidence. We are buying Earth time to rebuild, time to prepare, time to come back. You think Earth is rebuilding? Asked Park. You think they are planning to fight again? I know humans, Vasquez said firmly. We do not surrender. We do not quit. Earth is silent because they are planning something, and until they are ready, it is our job to keep the coalition off balance, to make them think twice about their victory. In his office on New Prosperity, Krellnon connected data points. He had reports from across the occupied territories, strange sensor readings, missing ships, damaged outposts. The coalition leadership dismissed these incidents as random. Remnant automated defenses, space pirates, equipment failures, but Krellnon saw a pattern. The attacks were not random. They followed a specific route. They targeted supply lines. They hit vulnerable convoys. It was military strategy. Someone was conducting asymmetric warfare. He pulled up the records from the battle at Terminus Gate. The coalition fleet had destroyed or accounted for every human ship, almost every ship. One vessel was missing from the wreckage count, the flagship Dreadnought Indomitable Will. The coalition assumed it had been completely destroyed, vaporized by the massive weapons used in the final bombardment. But what if it had not been destroyed? What if it had escaped? Krellnon ran calculations. A Dreadnought-class ship would have the firepower to destroy convoys, the speed to escape before reinforcements arrived, the stealth systems to hide between attacks. Everything fit. He took his findings to Commander Palvik. "Sir, I believe we are facing a capital ship, specifically the human flagship from Terminus Gate." Palvik stared at him. Then he laughed. "That ship was destroyed. We saw the battle reports. We saw the reports of ships destroyed. We did not see the Indomitable Will destroyed. We assumed it was. You are paranoid, Krellnon. The stress of occupation duty is affecting your judgment." But Krellnon was not deterred. He sent his report up the chain of command. Most officers ignored it, but one did not. War Master Vorn read the report carefully. He had fought humans before. He knew they were dangerous. He knew they did not quit easily. Vorn called Krellnon to his flagship. "Tell me about this ghost ship theory." Krellnon presented his evidence. The attack patterns, the missing flagship, the tactical sophistication of the raids. Vorn listened without interruption. "You are correct," Vorn said finally. "There is a human dreadnought operating in our territory. I should have seen it sooner. I allowed the celebration of victory to blind me. What should we do, War Master? We hunt it. We find this ship. We destroy it, and we show the galaxy that human resistance is truly over." Vorn's scaled face was grim. "But we must be careful. A wounded predator is the most dangerous kind." Aboard the Indomitable Will, Vasquez received a coded transmission. It was short. Just a few words. "But they changed everything. Earth is alive. Keep fighting. You are not alone." She read the message 3 times. Then she called Hayes to her ready room. "Earth survived. They are rebuilding. They want us to continue operations." "That is good news, Captain. When can we rejoin them?" "We cannot, not yet. Our job is to be a thorn in the coalition's side, to make them waste resources hunting us, to make them doubt their victory." She looked at the star map. "We need to hit something big, something that will make them notice, something that will make them afraid. Captain, if we hit something big, they will come for us with everything they have." "I know," Vasquez said. "That's exactly what I want. It is time to stop being ghosts. It is time to remind the galaxy who we are." The Indomitable Will changed course. Its next target was not a convoy. It was a coalition fleet staging area. The ghost was about to become very real. The Gehenna Nebula was a place most ships avoided. Dense gases made sensors unreliable. Navigation was difficult. But Captain Vasquez had chosen this location carefully. The coalition fleet staging area sat just outside the nebula. They thought they were safe. They were wrong. "All crew to battle stations," Vasquez ordered. "This is not a raid. This is a statement." The Indomitable Will emerged from the nebula like a nightmare. Its damaged hull still showed scars from Terminus Gate, but its weapons were very much alive. The coalition carrier group had 30 seconds of warning before the human dreadnought opened fire. Railgun rounds crossed space at incredible speed. Each round was the size of a small vehicle, moving fast enough to punch through shields and armor like paper. The first coalition destroyer exploded before it could raise its defenses. The second lost its engines and went spinning into the void. "Target the carrier," Vasquez commanded. "All forward batteries, fire." The carrier was massive, 3 times the size of the Indomitable Will, but size meant nothing when surprise was complete. Missiles and railgun rounds hammered into the carrier's hull. Explosions blossomed across its surface. Fighter craft tried to launch but were destroyed in their bays. Enemy ships are returning fire, reported Ramirez. Shields holding at 60%. Continue firing. Target their command ship. The battle was brutal and quick. The coalition ships had better numbers, but they were unprepared. The indomitable Will had planned every shot, every maneuver. In 15 minutes, the carrier group was destroyed. 7 ships turned to debris. Hundreds of alien soldiers dead. Captain, we should withdraw, Hayes urged. Reinforcements will arrive soon. Not yet. Vasquez opened all communication channels. Every coalition frequency. Every military band. She wanted everyone to hear this. This is Captain Elena Vasquez of the Earth Dreadnought Indomitable Will. To all coalition forces, hear me now. We did not surrender. We will never surrender. This war is not over. We are still fighting, and we will continue to fight until you leave our territory, or we send every last one of your ships to join this wreckage. This is humanity's answer to your occupation. She closed the channel. Now we run. Full power to engines. Get us back to the nebula. The Indomitable Will disappeared into the gas clouds as coalition reinforcements arrived. They found only debris and bodies. And they found the recorded message playing on repeat. Captain Vasquez's words echoed across the communication networks. The message spread like fire. Within hours, every coalition ship had heard it. Within days, the entire galaxy knew. The humans were not defeated. They were still fighting. One ship against an empire of species refused to quit. Ambassador Thelgzara watched the recording in her office. Her forearms trembled with rage. This is impossible. The human fleet was destroyed. We saw it happen. Apparently we missed one, said her aide quietly. One ship? One ship is making us look like fools? Thelgzara's mandibles clicked furiously. Find it, destroy it. I want every available ship hunting this dreadnought. I want it turned to dust. But War Master Vorn had different thoughts. He studied the battle footage carefully. The human ship had fought with precision. It had planned the ambush perfectly. It had destroyed a carrier group and escaped without serious damage. This was not desperation. This was skill. Captain Vasquez, Vorn said to himself, reading her service record, a career officer, 40 years of experience, known for unconventional tactics. She is using asymmetric warfare. She is making us waste resources chasing her. She is buying time for Earth. Krelnon stood beside him. Should we hunt her, War Master? We must, but carefully. She wants us to chase her. She wants us to commit forces to hunting one ship. Every ship we send after her is a ship not watching Earth. She is a distraction. A very effective distraction. She destroyed 7 ships today. Yes, Vorn agreed. But more than that, she has destroyed our narrative. We told the galaxy the war was over. We told them humanity was broken. Now they see we were wrong. They see that one human ship is making fools of our entire military. This is about more than ships and weapons. This is about morale, about perception. Aboard the Indomitable Will, the crew celebrated their victory. For the first time in months, they felt like soldiers again instead of fugitives. But not everyone was happy. Commander Hayes found Captain Vasquez in her ready room. Captain, we need to talk about our mission. Speak freely, Commander. That broadcast. You just told every coalition ship in the galaxy where we are, what we are doing. They will come for us with everything they have. I know. Then why did you do it? Vasquez looked tired. Because Earth needs to know we are still fighting. Our people in the occupied colonies need to know they are not forgotten. And the coalition needs to understand that victory is not the same as surrender. We are buying time, Commander. Time for Earth to rebuild. Time for our people to reorganize. Every day we survive is another day Earth has to prepare. But Captain, we cannot survive forever. We are one ship. We are running low on supplies. Our crew is exhausted. What happens when they finally corner us? Then we make our last stand worth remembering. Vasquez stood up. I did not ask for volunteers, Hayes. I gave the crew a choice 3 months ago. Everyone aboard this ship chose to stay, chose to fight. They know what we are doing. They know the risks. Some are having second thoughts. Lieutenant Park came to me yesterday. She has family on Earth. She wants to know if we will ever see home again. Vasquez was quiet for a moment. Tell Park the truth. Tell everyone the truth. We might not make it home. We might die out here in the dark. But we are making sure our deaths mean something. We are buying Earth time. We are keeping the coalition off balance. And we are showing the galaxy that humans do not quit. Hayes nodded slowly. I will tell them, Captain. But they deserve to know one more thing. Do you have a plan, or are we just going to keep running until they catch us? I have a plan, Vasquez said. Earth is rebuilding. The message said to keep fighting. That means they need more time. So we give them time. We hit the coalition hard. We make them commit forces to hunting us. We make every day cost them resources and lives. And when Earth is ready, when they come back, we will have weakened the coalition enough that our people have a chance. That could take years, Captain. Then we fight for years. Vasquez looked at the star map. Mark my words, Commander. Earth will return. And when they do, they will remember what we did here. They will remember that one ship refused to quit. That one crew kept the fire burning when everyone else thought it was out. In the occupied colonies, humans heard the broadcast. They listened to Captain Vasquez's words. Hope, which had died at Terminus Gate, began to grow again. The war was not over. Someone was still fighting. Resistance groups began to form, small cells of humans who sabotaged coalition equipment, who spied on enemy movements, who whispered to each other in the dark that the indomitable will was still out there, still fighting, still refusing to surrender. The coalition had won the battle at Terminus Gate, but Captain Vasquez was showing them that winning a battle was not the same as winning a war. And she was teaching the galaxy a lesson about humanity. They did not quit. Ever. The hunt was about to begin, and both sides knew that only one would survive it. War Master Vorn stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Triumph, studying holographic displays of human military history. He had spent weeks learning about Earth's past wars, Vietnam, Afghanistan, the resistance movements of World War II. He was beginning to understand Captain Vasquez. She is using guerrilla tactics, Vorn explained to his officers. She strikes where we are weak, then disappears. She avoids direct confrontation unless she has overwhelming advantage. This is not how space battles are traditionally fought, but it is very effective. How do we counter it, War Master? Asked his second-in-command. We predict where she will strike next. We set traps. We force her into situations where she cannot run. Vorn highlighted several systems on the map. These are the most valuable supply routes. She will hit one of them soon. We will be waiting. Krelnon had been assigned to Vorn's fleet as an intelligence advisor. He respected Vorn's tactical mind. The human ship has advantages. Stealth systems. Knowledge of our patrol patterns. A crew willing to take risks. We must be careful. I am always careful, Vorn said. But I am also determined. This ship has made fools of us for too long. It ends now. The indomitable will moved through an asteroid field hiding among the rocks. Captain Vasquez studied the same maps Vorn was studying. She knew they would be hunting her now. Knew they would set traps. But she had no choice. The ship needed supplies. Captain, we have identified a supply convoy, reported Ramirez. 20 cargo ships with escort. 4 destroyers, light cruiser. More protection than usual, Hayes observed. They are expecting us. Probably, Vasquez agreed. But we still need those supplies. Our food reserves are down to 4 weeks. We cannot survive without hitting that convoy. It could be a trap. Everything is a trap now. Vasquez made her decision. We go in fast. Hit the convoy. Take what we need. Get out before reinforcements arrive. Standard raid, but we move faster than ever before. The attack began at dawn local time. The indomitable will dropped out of faster-than-light travel, right in the middle of the convoy. Its weapons fired immediately. 2 cargo ships were disabled in seconds. The destroyers turned to engage, but the human Dreadnought was already moving, using the cargo ships as cover. Boarding teams away, reported Lieutenant Torres. Grabbing supplies now, but something was wrong. The coalition destroyers were not trying to stop the boarding teams. They were trying to delay the Dreadnought.
Keep it in place.
Vasquez saw it immediately. It is a trap. Emergency recall. Get our people back now. 3 more coalition ships dropped out of faster-than-light travel, then 6 more, then a dozen. War Master Vorn had predicted correctly. He had guessed which convoy Vasquez would hit, and he had been waiting. All ships focus fire on the human vessel, Vorn ordered. Do not let it escape. The indomitable will took hits. Shields flared and failed. Hull plates buckled. The ship shuddered under the assault. Vasquez gripped her command chair as the ship rocked. Boarding teams aboard. 3 casualties. Torres reported, her voice tight with stress. Get us out of here. Maximum power to engines. Shields are down. Hull breaches on decks 7 through 12. We are venting atmosphere. Commander Hayes worked frantically at damage control. Engineering reports engine damage. We can only make 70% speed. They were not going to make it. Vasquez saw it in the tactical display. Too many enemy ships. Too much damage. The indomitable will was going to die here. Captain, the enemy flagship is hailing us, said Lieutenant Chen. Put it through. Vorn's scaled face appeared on the screen. Captain Vasquez, your ship is crippled. Your crew is about to die. Surrender now and I promise they will be treated fairly under coalition law. Vasquez laughed. It was not a happy sound. You think we have come this far to surrender? You think humans quit? You do not understand us at all, War Master. Then you will all die here. For nothing. Not for nothing. We die buying Earth time. We die showing the galaxy that humanity does not break. We die free. Vasquez cut the connection. All hands, this is the captain. Battle stations. We are going to make them earn this victory. But before she could give the order to fire, Lieutenant Chen shouted, Captain!
Incoming message!
It is from Earth. They are broadcasting in the clear. Put it through. A voice came through the speakers. Strong, clear, human. To all coalition forces, this is Admiral Marcus Chen of the Earth Defense Fleet. You are hereby ordered to withdraw from human territory immediately. You have 30 seconds to comply. The bridge fell silent. Earth was sending messages? What did that mean? Then the sensors lit up. Ships, dozens of ships, hundreds of ships, dropping out of faster-than-light travel all around them. New ships. Human ships. Earth's fleet had returned. War Master Vorn stared at his tactical display in shock. Where had these ships come from? The human fleet was destroyed at Terminus Gate. Everyone knew this. But here they were. A full battle fleet, fresh and ready to fight. War Master, we are heavily outnumbered, his tactical officer reported. Recommend immediate withdrawal. Vorn was not a fool. He knew when he was beaten. All ships retreat to the rally point. Full speed. The coalition fleet fled. The human ships let them go. They had made their point. A sleek battleship approached the crippled indomitable will. A face appeared on the view screen. Admiral Chen. He was older than his voice suggested. Gray hair, tired eyes, but he smiled when he saw Vasquez. Captain Vasquez, you have no idea how good it is to see you. We have been tracking your attacks for months. You gave us exactly what we needed. Time, Vasquez said quietly. We bought you time. More than that. You bought us hope. When we thought all was lost, you kept fighting. You reminded us what we were fighting for. Every raid you conducted, every convoy you hit, every message you broadcast gave us the strength to rebuild. We worked day and night, built new ships, trained new crews, and now we are back. Earth survived. Vasquez felt tears on her face. I was not sure, I hoped. But I was not sure. Earth survived. And so did you. Against impossible odds, you and your crew survived. You are heroes, Captain. All of you. Vasquez looked around her bridge. Her crew was crying, laughing, hugging each other. They had survived. They had won. Not the battle. Not the war. But something more important. They had refused to quit. And that had made all the difference. Admiral, the indomitable will is badly damaged. We need repairs, medical assistance. And honestly, my crew needs rest. Real rest. You will have it, all of it. Repair ships are on their way. Medical teams are standing by. And Captain, when your ship is repaired, you and your crew have earned a place of honor in the fleet. If you want it, Vasquez thought about that. 3 months of running. 3 months of hiding. 3 months of fighting alone in the dark. Her crew had earned rest. But she knew them. Knew what they would say if asked. We will take the repairs, Admiral. We will take the rest. But then we will return to duty. This war is not over. Not until every coalition ship is out of human space. Not until every occupied colony is free. We did not survive this long to quit now. Admiral Chen nodded with respect. I would expect nothing less from the crew of the indomitable will. Welcome home, Captain. Welcome home. Aboard the Eternal Triumph, War Master Vorn reviewed the battle footage. Krell stood beside him. We underestimated them, the intelligence officer said quietly. We did, Vorn agreed. We thought the war was over. We thought they were broken. We were wrong. That one ship, that one crew, they changed everything. They gave Earth time to rebuild. And now we face a renewed enemy. What do we do now? Vorn was quiet for a long moment. Now? Now we prepare for a real war. Not an occupation. Not a cleanup operation. A real war against a species that refuses to surrender. And we pray to whatever gods we believe in that we survive it. 2 weeks after Earth's fleet returned, Ambassador Thelzara called an emergency session of the Coalition Council. Representatives from all member species gathered. The mood was tense. Their easy victory had become a nightmare. The humans were supposed to be defeated, Thelzara said, her forearms gesturing in agitation. Instead, they have a full battle fleet. How is this possible? War Master Vorn stood to speak. We made assumptions. We saw their fleet destroyed at Terminus Gate, and assumed they had no capacity to rebuild. We were wrong. While we celebrated victory, they were building ships. While we divided their territory, they were training crews. And one ship, the Indomitable Will, bought them the time they needed. One ship, another ambassador scoffed. You are saying one ship changed the outcome of this war? Yes, Vorn said simply. One ship that refused to surrender. One crew that kept fighting. They distracted us. They made us waste resources hunting them. They gave their people hope. And they gave Earth time. That is what one ship can do when its crew refuses to quit. The council was silent. They were beginning to understand the cost of their assumptions. In orbit around Earth, the Indomitable Will sat in a repair dock. The damage was extensive. It would take months to fully repair. Captain Vasquez walked through the corridors, seeing the work crews cutting away damaged sections and installing new ones. Her ship had taken a beating, but it had survived. Commander Hayes found her in the main cargo bay. Captain, we just received new orders. The Coalition has requested a meeting. They want to negotiate. Negotiate what? We told them to leave our territory. They want to discuss terms for a permanent peace. Admiral Chen wants you at the meeting. He says you earned the right to be there. Vasquez considered this. Do you think they are serious? Or is this a delaying tactic? I think they are scared, Hayes said. They thought they won. Now they realize they might lose. They want to negotiate before things get worse. The meeting took place on a neutral station. Captain Vasquez attended, along with Admiral Chen and other Earth representatives. Across the table sat Ambassador Thelzara, War Master Vorn, and their advisors. Krellnon was there, taking notes. Thelzara spoke first. The Coalition is willing to withdraw from occupied human territories. We will return the colonies to Earth control. In exchange, we ask for a peace treaty. No more attacks. No more raids. The war ends. You came to our space, Admiral Chen said coldly. You invaded our colonies. You killed our people. You thought you had won. And now that you see you have not won, you want peace? Why should we trust you? Because continued war serves no one, Vorn said. We can fight for years. Both sides will lose ships. Both sides will lose lives. Or we can end this now. Return things to how they were before the war. Things can never be how they were before, Vasquez said quietly. Everyone turned to look at her. You invaded us. You tried to break us. You cannot just apologize and expect us to forget. Then what do you want? Thelzara asked. Guarantees. Real guarantees. You withdraw from all human territory. You pay reparations for the colonies you damaged. You return all prisoners of war. And you sign a treaty that has teeth. Real consequences if you break it. That is asking a great deal. You took a great deal, Vasquez said. You took lives. You took freedom. You took peace. Now you pay the price for that. War Master Vorn leaned forward. Captain Vasquez, I have studied your tactics. I have learned about your species. You are right. We cannot simply apologize. But consider this. We can be enemies forever. Or we can become something else. Not friends, perhaps, but not enemies either. I respect what you did. One ship against an empire. That takes courage. It takes desperation, Vasquez corrected. We had no choice. You gave us no choice, and that is my point. We backed you into a corner. We thought that would break you. Instead, it made you dangerous. We have learned from this. Let us end the cycle. Let us build something better. The negotiations lasted 3 days. Both sides argued, compromised, argued more. But slowly an agreement took shape. The Coalition would withdraw from all human space. They would pay reparations. They would return prisoners. And in exchange, Earth would agree to peace, not alliance, not friendship, but an end to open warfare. On the 3rd day, the treaty was signed. The war was truly over, not because one side won, but because both sides chose to stop fighting. After the signing, Krellnon approached Captain Vasquez. "Captain, may I speak with you?" "Of course. I was one of the first to realize your ship still existed. I tracked your raids. I helped War Master Vorn hunt you. I thought I was doing the right thing. Ending resistance. Bringing peace. But I was wrong. You taught me something." "What is that?" "That peace through conquest is not real peace. It is just silence while the conquered plan their revenge. Real peace requires respect, understanding. You could have continued fighting. You could have made us pay dearly for this treaty. But you chose to negotiate. Why?" Vasquez looked out at the stars through the station viewport. "Because my crew is tired. Because our people have suffered enough. Because winning means knowing when to stop fighting. We proved our point. We showed you that humans do not break. Now it is time to build something better than war." 6 months later, the indomitable Will was fully repaired. The ship looked new, but everyone who served aboard knew the truth. It was still scarred beneath the fresh paint. Still damaged in ways that would never fully heal, like all survivors of war. Captain Vasquez gathered her crew in the main hangar bay. 3,000 faces looked back at her. Some were new, replacements for those lost at Terminus Gate and in the months of raiding that followed. But most were originals. The ones who had stayed when they could have left. The ones who had fought when they could have surrendered. "The war is over," Vasquez said. "The coalition has withdrawn from our space. Our colonies are free. Our people are rebuilding, and we can finally rest." She paused, looking at each section of the crowd. "But I want you to remember what we did here. We were one ship, one crew. Everyone thought we were destroyed. Everyone thought the war was over. But we refused to accept that. We kept fighting. And because we kept fighting, because we refused to quit, we gave Earth the time it needed. We gave our people hope. We changed the outcome of the war. Some people will say we were just lucky, that we were just a distraction. But I know the truth. We were more than that. We were proof. Proof that humans do not surrender. Proof that one ship can make a difference. Proof that courage and determination matter more than numbers. This ship is being preserved, turned into a museum, a memorial. Future generations will walk these corridors. They will see the damage we took, the repairs we made. They will learn what happened here, and they will understand what it means to be human, to fight when fighting seems hopeless, to resist when resistance seems pointless, to keep going when everyone else has quit. You are all heroes, every one of you. You saved humanity not with grand victories, but with small acts of courage repeated day after day. You refused to break, and that refusal changed everything. The crew was silent. Some were crying. Others stood at attention. All of them understood what they had accomplished. Later, as the crew filed out, Admiral Chen approached Vasquez. "That was a good speech, Captain. It was the truth, Admiral. This crew deserves to know what they accomplished. They do, and so do you." He handed her a datapad. "Your orders, Captain. You have been promoted to Admiral. You will command the new Third Fleet, 6 dreadnoughts, 20 cruisers, 40 destroyers. You will defend the outer colonies. Make sure this never happens again." Vasquez looked at the orders, then at the indomitable Will behind her. "What about my ship? Like you said, it is a museum now. A reminder. But Captain, you do not need this ship anymore. You proved what one ship can do. Now show us what a fleet can do under your command." Years passed. The Treaty of Tartarus held. Humans and the coalition species maintained an uneasy peace. Trade resumed. Diplomatic relations were established. Slowly wounds healed. The indomitable Will sat in Earth orbit, preserved exactly as it had been when the war ended. Millions visited it every year. They walked the corridors, sat in the command chair, stood in the cargo bays where the crew had stored stolen supplies. They learned the stories, the raids, the hiding, the desperate fighting, and they learned the most important lesson. That one ship, one crew, one captain who refused to quit had changed the course of history, not through superior weapons or tactics, but through simple, stubborn determination. In the galaxy, when people spoke of humanity, they no longer spoke of the defeat at Terminus Gate. They spoke of the indomitable Will. They spoke of Captain Vasquez and her crew. They spoke of the ship that refused to die and the people who refused to surrender. And they understood finally what it meant when humans said they would never quit. The war was over. But the legend of the ghost ship that saved humanity would live forever.